Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, man, you guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, shout out to Stofia for sending me a clip. We have a new challenger stepping up to the plate. Another LeBron James weirdo that never played sports a day in his life, never watched the NBA in the 80s and the 90s, doesn't know anything about basketball before 2010. I'm telling you, man, these guys are coming out the woodworks. It's like that movie Chud from the 80s. These people are coming out of the sewers. It's like, you know, Michael Jackson's Thriller. They're just coming out of all kinds of places, these weirdos. These Casino for Life clowns. These guys like, what's the other dude's name? Oh, man, that old dude, man. Chilltown Hoops. You got clowns like that. Clowns like this big biscuit-eating clown the other day. Legends of Winning. These weirdos like a Johnny from the GOAT James Kingdom. I mean, these are the weirdest fan base. Look at these clowns. None of these dudes are worth a damn. None of these guys know anything about the NBA's history. None of these guys can be honest with you. None of these guys can give you the facts. None of these guys play sports a day in their life. These guys do not know what it means to compete, man. They do not care about basketball. All they care about is LeBron James. And like I said, I was sent the clip from this clown, FMF Films. And this fool, the thumbnail of the video was this clown. Once again, another weird, all these guys look the same. They all look the same and they all sound the same, guys. I hate to say that, but that's the facts here, man. LeBron James fan base is a weird, cringy, disgusting fan base, man. And this guy called Michael Jordan, quote, the luckiest player on earth. That's what he called Michael Jordan. The luckiest. Michael Jordan was the luckiest player on earth. We're going to talk about this video, man. I don't know what this guy's talking about, man. Obviously, he thinks LeBron James is the greatest of all time. And he thinks that Michael Jordan was just lucky. We're going to talk about this video. And I'm going to thank you guys. Everyone across the world, everyone across the states, guys, has been supporting my channel, man. Once again, guys, you know I am truly, truly humbled, man, by all the support. Like I said, guys, thank you very much. The emails, the messages, everything, guys. It means a lot for real. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. Remember, guys, that's why I'm here. To set the record straight, but also to educate people out here. So shout out to all you guys that send me messages saying that you learned something new in a video that I did, or, you know, that's why you appreciate my content, because you feel like I'm always trying to educate people and give you guys the facts. Like I've told you guys from the start, man, this has never been about convincing you guys that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. It's been about setting the record straight, once again, about Michael Jordan, stopping these clowns from rewriting the history, man. That's what's about, holding the standard, all right? You don't have to believe Michael Jordan's greatest of all time, but I'm giving you guys the facts, and you come to your own opinion on this stuff. Whatever conclusion you come to, I'm going to give you the facts, man. Do not watch and go to these other channels. You're not getting facts. You're only getting narratives and lies from these clowns. And like I said, we have a new challenger stepping up to, you know, defend LeBron James and lie about Michael Jordan. So once again, shout out to Stofia for sending me this on Instagram. This guy says, I was sent 2 videos, all right? I'm going to do another video on the other one I was sent. You know, sometimes these guys say they say so much crazy stuff in like a 1-minute clip that I could probably do 3, 4, 5 videos off of the crazy things that they've said in a little clip like this. So I'm going to do a separate video on something else he said. But he started off one of his videos by saying, I'm not a Michael Jordan hater, but... who said, have you ever heard me start a video like that? Have you ever heard me say, I'm not a LeBron James hater, but... No. I've told you guys, I've never hated on LeBron James. I've never lied about this man. I've never fabricated or made up a story about him to hate on him. I'm setting the record straight, LeBron James. So when this guy says, I'm not a Jordan hater, but, dude, you already disqualified yourself. Because that's all you guys have is hate. You don't have facts. And he calls Michael Jordan the luckiest player in the history of the game. Lucky. Now let's see some of the things he said here. Why, to explain why Michael Jordan was lucky. He said, given that coach, so once again, we're going with the Phil Jackson stuff here. Given that style, what style was he given? The triangle or offense? You're saying given that style? It's not a style, it's an offense that Michael Jordan sacrificed to play in, you fool. LeBron James never did that, but you're holding it against Michael Jordan now because he was lucky to have that style. Weird stuff. The best rebounders, he said. So Michael Jordan played with the best rebounders in the NBA. I'm shocked. And the best shooters. Name them. You're going to name Dennis Rodman. So Michael Jordan played his entire career with Dennis Rodman? He said rebounders. Not rebounder, rebounders. So who are the top rebounds of the 90s? Obviously, Dennis Rodman, one of the top rebounds. You want to argue the greatest rebound in the history of the game. We know what Dennis Rodman did, but Michael Jordan played with him for 3 seasons. 3 seasons. 3 seasons. I'm pretty sure Isaiah Thomas played with Dennis Rodman at his peak. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year award on the Pistons with Isaiah Thomas, right? So what are we saying here? Dennis Rodman didn't play with anybody but Michael Jordan? So he played with the best rebounders, not rebounder, rebounders. So the three-peat that Michael Jordan had before Dennis Rodman, that he beat Dennis Rodman to start that three-peat, we're not going to talk about that. But we're going to say that he played with the best rebounders. Name them. Name anybody besides Dennis Rodman. Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, Bill Wennington, Luke Longley. Who are the greatest rebounders? The best rebounders. The best rebounders were guys like Dennis Rodman, guys like Charles Barkley, right? Charles Oakley was a hella fine rebounder in the 90s, right? He played with Jordan, but they traded Oakley away, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Before he became that dude, they traded him away. So he doesn't seem lucky in that regard. Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Dikembe Mutombo, right? These are some of the greatest rebounders. Shaquille O'Neal of the 90s, right? Those guys didn't play with Michael Jordan. Those are the best rebounders. Rebounders. Karl Malone. Did these guys play with Michael Jordan? No, they did not. But he's saying he played the best. He's lucky he played the best rebounders and the best shoot. Name them. Name the shooters that Michael Jordan played. You name the shooter that Michael Jordan played with that better than Ray Allen. I'm pretty sure that Ray Allen played with LeBron James. He's a hella fine shooter, ain't he? Didn't Ray Allen actually save LeBron James in one of them finals? Pretty sure he did. In a scenario where they're down and their backs against the wall, down 3-2. Right? They try to say that Steve Kerr and Paxson saved Jordan, even though the Bulls were up 3-2 in those scenarios. They saved Jordan. But Ray Allen didn't save LeBron James and the Miami Heat in that instance. Ray Allen is not a better shooter than any guy that Michael Jordan played with. Steve Kerr is like, I told you guys, Steve Kerr in the finals on the Bulls, 3 finals appearances, guys, shot a combined 25%, guys, in 3 NBA finals. Remember that shot he hit? The shot he hit was a 2-pointer. It wasn't a 3-point shot. And it was assisted by Michael Jordan. But he's talking about the best shooters. You can't name a damn shooter, though. Don't tell me Steve Kerr, because Steve Kerr was not like that, man. You guys have overhyped and over-exaggerated Steve Kerr because you guys don't know Steve Kerr, because you weren't around for him. Steve Kerr was a journeyman. Go look at how many teams Steve Kerr played with before he got to the Bulls, man. He was a journeyman. So his shooting was so great, he couldn't find a home. Craig Hodges, same thing with Craig Hodges. He was a journeyman, comes to the Bulls. All of a sudden, you win some championships, right? So, once again, name a guy better than Ray Allen. Who was better than Mike Miller was for LeBron James in Miami? Mike Miller came through with no shoe on. He was knocking down big-time threes, big-time shots in the finals. Steve Kerr never done this. He wasn't knocking down no threes in the finals. He couldn't. I told you, Ron Harper was better from 3 than Steve Kerr was in the finals on the Bulls. But you want to throw all these best shooters, but you can't name these guys. You guys are weird. You can't name them. The best rebounders. Dennis Rodman, one guy you can name. Horace Grant was a very good rebounder, man. Absolutely. But none of them the best rebounders. He wasn't playing with the best rebounders. This is what we're doing now. Now he's got the best of everything now. You're talking about the coach. The coach? Michael Jordan had 3 coaches in his first 3 years. But you're talking about he's the luckiest player in the world? Luckiest player ever to have 3 head coaches in his first 3 years in the league? That's lucky? What are you talking about, man? He's lucky to have Phil Jackson. A guy who never coached at the pro level before the Bulls. Never had any experience coaching. That's the guy you're talking about. He's lucky to have. No, Phil Jackson was lucky to have Michael Jordan, you clown. Phil Jackson's the luckiest coach in NBA's history. He played with Michael. He had Michael Jordan as a player, Scottie Pippen, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. What did Phil Jackson do with the New York Knicks? Name it. Name what he did with the Knicks. He did nothing with the Knicks. Nothing on the New York Knicks. He tried to bring in Derek Fisher. He tried to bring in Jeff Hornacek. He tried to bring in guys to run the triangle offense, right? And it didn't work out in the New York Knicks, right? Because you don't have the players that you had in the Bulls and the Lakers, clowns. But he was talking about the coaches. He says Jordan was favored to win. So we're going back to the favorite. Oh, Jordan was favored to win. He says LeBron was favored to lose more than he was to win. So what do you think you're saying here? You think you're doing LeBron James a service? Oh, man, LeBron James is so good. He wasn't favored to win? That doesn't make any sense. If he's so great, then why was he not favored more often? And what does he say? He follows it with this. Because he was so good, he took terrible teams to the finals. Name the teams. Name the terrible teams he took to the finals. Name them. The Miami Heat, those are not terrible teams. How are they terrible teams? He stacked up a super team and then lost. And then they want to try and say he took terrible teams. Name the terrible team, 07. 07 wasn't a terrible team. They weren't a great team, but they weren't a terrible team. And once again, you won't mention the weak Eastern Conference. The only reason he was in the finals with some of those teams because the East was weak. But name the terrible teams. The 16 Cavaliers, they weren't terrible. The 17 Cavaliers, they weren't terrible. Once again, the 2012 Miami Heat weren't terrible. 2011 Miami Heat, they weren't terrible. What teams did he go to the finals with that were terrible? There were no teams he went to the finals with that were terrible. He was terrible in a lot of those series. That's why they lost, clown. He's out here reading off in 2017 against the Kevin Durant Warriors. No, it's the Steph Curry Warriors #1. But he's talking about against the Kevin Durant Warriors, LeBron James led in points, rebounds, and assists and steals for both teams. He didn't play no defense. He didn't play no defense. You won't mention the defense. You won't mention how he was switching screens. He didn't want to take the challenge against Kevin Durant. You won't mention that at all, my man, huh? Weird stuff from the LeBron James side of things. But he's talking about Jordan was favored to win. Why do you think Jordan was favored to win more often than not? Because of Michael Jordan. These guys keep doing this, and all they're doing is highlighting that LeBron James ain't that good, ain't that great. He's so great he wasn't favored. That's how great he was. So LeBron James, so great, the greatest all-around player of all time, but he's not favored to win because Vegas knows he's a choker. That's basically what we're saying here, guys. And once again, who's saying who's favored? Vegas? You guys going with Vegas? Go look at the preseason rankings. The preseason favorites. LeBron James' team was the favorite to win the championship, guys, from 2011 to 2016. They were the favorite to win the championship every one of those seasons, guys. Did he win every one of those years? Nope. No. But he was favored to win every single season. And after that, they were favored second to win. 2017, they were second to win. Favored. So I don't know what this guy's talking about. That LeBron James is carrying these crap teams. You can't even name it. You ever notice? They never give you an example. They'll never tell you this team is crap. Or Michael Jordan had this shooter and that shooter and this shooter, that shooter, and this rebounder and that rebounder. Name the guys. You didn't name anybody. You're just talking off emotions and weird statements. Like I said, you're just trying to create a narrative here and you're rewriting history. Now all of a sudden, Jordan had stacked teams now with the best rebounders, the best shooters. All he had to do was score, this guy said. All Jordan had to do was score. He didn't play no defense, Michael Jordan. He wasn't a leader. His leadership didn't count. He wasn't clutch. All he had to do was, he wasn't clutch. Jordan wasn't the guy who had to carry these guys offensively in the clutch and come up with all these plays in the clutch. What are you guys talking about here? I mean, it's really weird that he'll say LeBron James was so good he took bad teams to the finals, but you can't name the bad team. And then, like I said, you can't name a great team that he beat to get to the finals. Name a team he beat to get to the finals. Name a team better than 91 Pistons. Name a back-to-back champion he had to beat to get to the finals. Name a team better than 93 Knicks he had to beat to get to the finals in the Eastern Conference. Name a team better than the 98 Pacers or the 97 Heat or the 96 Orlando Magic. Name them. You pick a team out. Who was it? Nobody. You can't name a single team better than those teams I told you that Michael Jordan played in the Eastern Conference Finals. You can't find them. There are no teams. But you want to celebrate that he wasn't the favorite? Yeah, because he's not clutch. That's why he wasn't the favorite. You guys think that's a feather in his cap? That's a knock on that clown. But he talks about the luckiness of Michael Jordan. Let's think about that for a second. I've never heard that one before. So let's go through this. Michael Jordan, he said the luckiest player in the history of the game. He was luckier than Bill Russell. He was luckier than Bill Russell. Michael Jordan was luckier than Bill Russell. Bill Russell came to a Celtics team. That wasn't Will Chamberlain. That wasn't Will Chamberlain. He didn't go to the Celtics with Will Chamberlain. Bill Russell went to the Celtics with Red Auerbach. Did he not? That's pretty lucky when you're going with a team with all those great players on that we talked about. Once again, not saying that Bill Russell didn't make them great or be the engine, the leader of that team. Absolutely. But, dude, that's a lucky situation to land into. But he's talking about Michael Jordan was lucky. Michael Jordan is so lucky that he got left at the airport in 1985 as a number 3 rookie draft pick. He got left at the airport. That's how lucky Michael Jordan was. So lucky that he got drafted to a Chicago Bulls team that had guys with drug problems on it. Drug problems on it. Did LeBron just deal that his rookie season? I don't remember that at all. So once again, how lucky was Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan was so lucky that he broke his foot his second season. He broke his foot, and it was a career-threatening injury, his foot injury. But he's the luckiest guy in NBA's history. How many serious injuries, career-threatening injuries LeBron James had in his career? My man, none. So who's luckier, LeBron James or Michael Jordan in that regard? Obviously, Michael Jordan wasn't that lucky. He got a freaking broken foot in his second season. How about Michael Jordan having 3 different coaches in the first 3 years in the NBA? Does that sound like a lucky guy to you? 3 different coaches in your first 3 seasons at the NBA? That doesn't seem like a lucky player to me. How about, playing with a guy like Scottie Pippen, who said that he didn't take his first 2 years of the NBA serious? Was he lucky playing with Scottie Pippen those first couple of years? Was he lucky when Scottie Pippen had a migraine game on him in 1990? How many guys have you heard in NBA's history that a team have a migraine game? A migraine so bad that they only scored 2 points in 30 minutes. Name the guys in the NBA's history that have done this. That's who Michael Jordan was dealing with. He's dealing with these guys, the most ungrateful supporting cast, most ungrateful partner in NBA's history was Scottie Pippen. So ungrateful, that dude. He was, my goodness, man. How lucky was Michael Jordan in 1991, his first NBA Finals, when Sam Perkins is a game winner in Game 1 because the rest of his teammates choked it up and didn't show up? How lucky, though, was he in Game 3 with the series tied 1 game apiece and Scottie Pippen fouling out at the end of the game with 9 seconds left? How lucky was that? Was that lucky for Michael Jordan and the Bulls? That didn't seem like a lucky play right there. Scottie Pippen fouls out and they're down by 2 with 9 seconds left. And Michael Jordan had to come through in the clutch. That's what he does. That didn't seem like a lucky play to me, though. How about when they traded Oakley in 1989 for Bill Cartwright? Was that lucky for Michael Jordan? Yeah, it may have worked out in the long run, But are we going to sit here and act like Charles Oakley wouldn't have been a great player for the Bulls all those years in the 90s? Come on, man, stop it. They probably would have been better with Charles Oakley. They probably would have won in 1990 if they had Charles Oakley and not Bill Cartwright. So I don't think he was lucky. Remember, he didn't want Charles Oakley traded. That was his friend. So it didn't seem like Michael Jordan was lucky there. But let's think about Michael Jordan in this regard. He says he's the luckiest player in NBA's history. How many NBA players in the history of the game do you guys know had their father murdered while they're actively playing? I'm not saying that players haven't had their fathers murdered. Maybe when they were growing up, their father got murdered or something like that. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about while they're actively playing basketball. How many of these guys' fathers have been murdered during their active career? Steph Curry's dad or Kevin Durant's dad, right? These guys don't even know their dad, some of these dudes. So they'll make it seem as if it's worse not knowing your father than knowing your dad, having a relationship like Michael Jordan had with his father, and then having your father murdered. Are you kidding me, man? That's insane. Once again, LeBron James fan base, they downplay this. So much so, this guy's telling you he's the luckiest player. His father was murdered during his playing career, but he's the luckiest player in history. The luckiest player in history. That's crazy, man. That is crazy talk. Was LeBron James lucky when Draymond Green got suspended in 2016? Seemed pretty lucky to me. Michael Jordan ain't had nobody get suspended in a finals game for him. Seemed pretty lucky that Draymond Green gets suspended in a pivotal Game 5 for LeBron James and Cleveland Cavaliers. Seems pretty damn lucky. LeBron James wasn't lucky having all these trades and free agents in his career. Didn't the NBA stop the trade from Chris Paul going to the Lakers to play with Kobe Bryant? Did they stop that trade? So I guess Kobe Bryant wasn't that lucky. LeBron James is pretty damn lucky. They've never stopped any of his trades. He's been able to go wherever he wants, get any player that he wants. Anthony Davis is represented by his best friend in their agency, which is shady as hell. He requests a trade, ends up on the Lakers. That doesn't seem lucky to you? After LeBron James couldn't even make the playoffs that year? After he activated playoff mode. That doesn't seem lucky to you? Seems like lucky. LeBron James is the luckiest player in NBA's history. And he's lucky. Why? Because the NBA has made it that way. They finagle the rules for LeBron James. They don't call travels and carries. Seems pretty lucky to me. I saw Michael Jordan getting called for carries, travels, all this stuff when he played. I didn't see Michael Jordan get a billion trades, a billion free agents on his team, but he's the luckiest guy in history. Is he luckier than Charles Barkley, who came to the NBA and played with Dr. J and Moses Malone? He got to come in and learn from two of the greatest players in the history of the game as a rookie. Seemed pretty lucky. Was Karl Malone lucky when he got to the Utah Jazz and John Stockton was already there? Seems pretty lucky that Karl Malone and John Stockton were together all those years. Pretty damn lucky, right? Seems lucky to me that those guys had Jerry Sloan there and they had each other, right? Seems pretty lucky. I don't know what these guys are talking about. Larry Bird wasn't lucky. He was luckier than Michael Jordan coming to the Boston Celtics, going to the Boston Celtics. He wasn't lucky playing on a team, bringing in guys like Kevin McHale, training for guys like Robert Parrish, playing with guys like Bill Walton and Dennis Johnson. He wasn't lucky. Larry Bird seemed pretty damn lucky, man. Magic Johnson was lucky. He was lucky playing and coming to join the Lakers. That wasn't lucky. Michael Jordan's luckier than those dudes. Luckier than them. That's crazy, man. That is straight crazy. When Magic Johnson got to the Lakers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was there. Norm Nixon was there. You had, what's his name? Jamal Wilkes was there. These are Hall of Famers. They ended up getting James Worthy. Guys like Byron Scott. I mean, Pat Riley comes in a couple years later. That's not lucky. Come on, man, stop. I can't believe we're making this about luck now. Oh, Michael Jordan was just lucky. No, Michael Jordan created his own luck based off the work that he put in. LeBron James needed luck. He needed help from the NBA to win. He needed to play in the Weak Eastern Conference. He needed to stack his teams up. That's how he was able to win the little bit that he did. That seemed like pretty damn lucky to me. The era that LeBron James played in, pretty damn lucky you playing in his weak, soft era where guys are allowed to flop and load manage. Seems pretty damn lucky LeBron James can carry with the basketball, travel. That seems pretty lucky. Right? Is it not lucky? Seems pretty lucky to me. But he's out here talking about Michael Jordan's the luckiest player in history, and then he can't even tell you why. I gave you a bunch of instances to highlight LeBron James being way luckier than Michael Jordan and things being given to LeBron James. Michael Jordan had to earn it. Michael Jordan was lucky going against the Detroit Pistons with the Jordan rules, getting beat up physically by guys who were trying to hurt him, they said. Trying to hurt him. That made Michael Jordan lucky when he came in the NBA in a stacked Eastern Conference, going against some of the elite defensive teams and elite defensive players in the history of the game. That's lucky for Michael Jordan to come and going against Sidney Moncrief 6 times a game or 6 times a year in his division. That's lucky. That's not lucky. Going against Alvin Robertson, Michael Cooper, Joe Dumars, again, 6 times a year in your division. That's not lucky going against those dudes. Dennis Rodman, 6 times a season. That's not lucky seeing the Pistons and them dudes 6 times a season. That's not luck. This man was getting beat physically. He was lucky in the regard that steel sharpens steel. In that regard, he was lucky, right? Because like I said, he didn't play in this crap league. So we're lucky, right? And we're thankful that Michael Jordan did not play in this weak era. We're thankful for that. Because we wouldn't have the Michael Jordan that we have. We wouldn't know him like we know him. The players of the past, thank God, they were who they were. And they carried themselves the way that they did. They showed up to work as often as they did. They competed as hard as they did. And it mattered to them as much as it did to go out there and once again play with that love of the game. Thank you to all those great players. That's not luck, man. Like I told you guys, that's those guys out there going and earning it, giving the effort because it mattered to them. You'll be lucky today if a guy shows you a game. You're lucky if LeBron James plays back-to-backs. You're lucky if LeBron James shows up. Look at the All-Star game. I mean, it's an absolute joke. We were lucky that the guys showed for the All-Star game back in them days. How lucky are you guys? I asked this clown, how lucky are you to be a LeBron James fan? And look what he's done for the NBA. How lucky are you guys to watch this nonsense? Michael Jordan's the luckiest player in the history of the game. Lucky. He's so lucky that he won 3 championships in a row again, and the franchise wouldn't even bring back his coach. They wouldn't even bring him back. That's how lucky Michael Jordan is. He's so lucky. He 3-peats again, and the organization says, nah, we're going in a different direction. We don't care what you say. We don't care how much you guys won. We don't care if you want Phil Jackson and Scotty and all these guys to stay. We're going in a different direction because it's personal with us. We don't care about the business. We don't feel like we owe you guys anything. Michael Jordan said, yo, they owed us. But the Chicago Bulls owed it to the Bulls players to allow them to continue to compete until they lost, like he said. They did a lot for that Chicago Bulls city, for the organization, man, for those fans. And then you're going to turn around and force Michael Jordan to retire. So Michael Jordan's so lucky that still to this day, he's the only player in NBA's history that was forced to retire after winning an MVP. Think about what I just said. He's so lucky, according to this clown, who never played basketball, never played sports, never competed. He's so lucky that he's the only, still to this day, the only MVP to retire after winning an MVP. That's lucky. Weird stuff from LeBron James fan. I tell you, I've never heard this angle before. And I got another video coming out maybe later today or tomorrow on this class. Some of the other stuff that he said, just weird stuff. I'm telling you, these LeBron James fan base are the same. These guys are all turning into the same person. They say the same things, the same angles they try to come with, and they're all informed the same. They're all ill-informed. These guys have no clue what they're talking about. All of these guys, they're so lost, but they think they do know what they're talking about. That's one of the things I cannot stand about that clown Legends of Winning. He speaks very condescending. He speaks in a disgusting tone as if, oh, Scap don't know what he's talking about. These guys are clowns. I can't believe, like, dude, who are you to talk that way? You're a clown. You don't know sports. You don't know a history of the NBA, dude. I can't believe that you actually are disgusted and talk like that. Man, weird stuff from that dude. Like I said, go outside and get some sun, clown. Get up off your butt, man. Weird dudes out here. There's another clown out here who looks the same. Like I said, look at these clowns. Soft, feminine dude. That's what this clown is. You guys know the deal, man. Catch you guys on the next one.